What's up everybody? In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at this. It's the Ghostbusters Plasma Series ECTO 1 from Hasbro. Check it out. What's up everybody and welcome back to Pop Empire. Happy to have you with us today. And like I said, we're going to take a closer look at this right here. And of course, this is the ECTO 1 from the Plasma Series and Ghostbusters, of course, coming to us from Hasbro. However, before we take a closer look at this box and get this popped open, wanted to show you this. We got our shirts. Pretty cool. We got Pop Empire here on the front, and then there on the back, of course, we got it there on the back, so pretty fantastic. So yeah, head on over to popempire.net. You can pick up yours, join the Pop Empire crew, 20 bucks, not too shabby. Go get one for yourself or the toy collector in your life. All right, and like I said, we're gonna take a closer look at this guy right here, but first, Lewis is gonna show you the details of the box, which is pretty cool.
And as we get a closer look at the box right here on the front, of course, a really big, awesome picture of the ECTO 1. And really quick, I do want to point out this image on the cover of the box. This is actually the ECTO 1 that will be seen in the upcoming movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. As you can see in the image, it's sitting in a barn, and as we get more into the vehicle and show you some of the details going on outside of it, you will kind of see that it's a little beat up nowadays. And then just this image over here down below, and it just tells you the scale of the vehicle that you'll be getting in the box. As we check out the back of the box, of course, there's all these different images of what you'll be getting in this vehicle, and just kind of shows you what all you can do. And then there's also that write-up up on top that gives a little description on the ECTO 1. And then also just checking out this side of the box and some really cool artwork. Yeah, it looks really awesome. So let's go ahead and get into all the little pieces that will build our vehicle.
So here's all the pieces that come in the set. Of course, you got different antennas and a little trap, it looks like, on wheels, and some hoses, and you know, the extra piece that goes on the roof, and a ladder, and just all sorts of stuff. But let's go ahead and show you each individual piece and show a little bit of the detail, and then of course we will show you how it all fits onto the vehicle.
So first we're going to go ahead and start off with this piece. This is kind of like a main piece. This goes on top of the ECTO 1. And just getting a closer look at this piece, a lot of detail going on in there. Of course, just checking out the front, and you have like a spotlight or a light going right here. Over on this side, you also have what looks like a speaker. Then just checking out this piece over here, I'm not exactly sure what that is. And then there's actually this box up here on top that has like what looks like some little knobs and some wires going along the front for detail. So that's really cool. And then just getting a better look at the inside there, and then you have more of that wiring going inside. And then just checking out the back, and this piece on top kind of reminds me of maybe like a satellite dish of some sort. Then as we move around to the other side, you have these tanks. They kind of look like oxygen tanks. There's a little bit of detail going on in there, and then they also have these tubes that look like they run inside, which are connected to those ones that I showed on top. So we're gonna go ahead and show you where this piece sits on the ECTO 1.
And of course, here's our ECTO 1, and here's that piece here, and we're gonna go ahead and show you where that goes. Of course, most of you probably already know where it goes, but you'll see these 4 holes here on top. Now on this piece, you'll see those 4 pegs on the bottom. This clear dome piece here will actually go towards the back of the vehicle. Go ahead and slot that in, just like that, and then push down in. It doesn't really pop, but it does sit in there nice and snug, so you know, you can turn it over and it's not gonna fall out or anything like that. So yeah, that's that piece. And let's move on to the next piece, and we'll see how that slots onto the car.
You also have this ladder that goes on the side of the car. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in place.
And now if you're looking on this side of the ECTO 1, you'll notice over here on the side there's actually this little slot right here, as well as a corresponding slot up here on top of the vehicle. And we'll take our ladder and we'll just go ahead and slide it in place. That one on, pop the top in, and there that slots in just like so. And you can see the top there kind of bridges the gap there to the big piece on top there. I guess would normally be like a luggage rack, but of course these are some scientists, so that's not a luggage. But yeah, there's that. Let's move on to the next piece.
Then we have this other piece here that actually goes on top of the vehicle. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but if you happen to know, go ahead and leave a comment down below.
And then here's the top of the ECTO 1, and this piece actually slots in right here. You see that kind of opening right there. So we'll go ahead and slot that in like so. Push down a little bit and it can actually turn, but it's very stiff once it's in there. But there we are. that sits right there on top. And this guy's really coming together. So let's move on to the next piece.
Then we have this piece, these tubes, and what's really nice is they're actually rubbery, like real tubes, and there's a little bit of detail going in there. You have like these gray straps that go around just to give it that effect of how it'll be attached to the vehicle. So let's go ahead and take a look.
And we're back on this side of the Ecto-1, and these tubes right here are actually going to slot in right over here by the ladder, with the bottom going in like in this rectangular slot here at the bottom of the ladder. So we'll start with that. This is the bottom of the tube. There we go, and you just kind of push that in there. And then for the top, you'll see these kind of holes right over here. I know it's a little bit blurry, but you can see there, and that's where the top of the tubes will go. And there we go, we got the top of the tube slotted in there. We got the side slotted in right there by the ladder. And they just kind of wrap over the top of the ladder like that. And yeah, this thing's really coming along and taking shape.
And our next piece, it's almost like an antenna of sorts. There's some really cool detail going on this piece. You have those red markings that go around that dome, and then you have these other two little antenna pieces on the back. So let's go ahead and install it on the Ecto-1.
All right, and then moving back to the roof of the Ecto-1, and this is actually going to slot in right here next to where we put those tubes. You'll see this kind of corner piece here, the little slot that goes right there. Just slide that in right there, push, get a nice hefty push in there. And there we go, we got that, I guess, antenna piece there sitting on top. We only have a couple pieces left. But yeah, this thing's looking really awesome.
And as we get into this next piece, this is a good sign that this is definitely from the upcoming Ghostbusters movie. You have this ghost trap. It almost looks like it's probably radio controlled, and it looks really cool. And I also want to point out that this does roll, kind of like a little micro machine in a way. But yeah, really cool.
And now that radio controlled ghost trap is actually going to go right here in the back of our Ecto-1. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up the back door here. Just go ahead and pull on the little handle there, and it actually just swings open like so. And you'll see there's that little slot right there on the floor where the wheels will go, but there's also kind of that extension that's coming up through the middle, and the trap actually just locks into place right on top of that. If you look at the bottom of the RC trap there, there's that slot there, and we'll just go ahead and put that over that piece in the back. And there we are, just kind of locks into place right there. Sits down in those little grooves. And then you got an RC ghost trap ready to roll.
And then finally, just checking out these three antennas that go on our vehicle. Let's go ahead and install them.
And over on this side of the Ecto-1, we got this antenna here, or I guess it's an antenna. Not really sure. The bottom is actually going to slot in right here. We'll just kind of push. That fits in there like so. And then up to the top. And the piece actually just kind of leads you straight to where it's supposed to go. So little area right there next to that box just slots in there. And then we got that piece on that side, and let's move on to the next antenna. Now we got another spot right over here. It's not a gas tank. It's another spot for this antenna. Slot that in there. And then if you get this, you'll see that it's actually grooved very specifically, so you'll know that it's supposed to go this direction. And it just kind of hangs to the front like so. And one last piece. And then we got that hole right there next to the hood, and this antenna will go in there. And there we go. That just kind of heads to the back like that. And there we have it. That's our put together Ecto-1. But let's get a look at a lot of the details here on the vehicle.
So finally, just getting a look at our Ecto-1 vehicle. And let's go ahead and check out the front first. Just checking out all the little detail. I do want to point out on the license plate, I think it's really cool that it's actually like printed on. It's not like a decal, so it's nice that it's just all one piece. And then just checking out the grille and the front of the vehicle, it's just very dirty. You can tell that it's been sitting for quite a long time. And then also getting down into the front wheels, there's rust in the hubcap, so that just looks really amazing. It's cool that they're white walls. And there's also some tread on these tires as well. Moving back to the top, on the hood, you have the Cadillac emblem. You also have these two vents on the hood. There are also some windshield wipers that are part of the mold, of course. And then you also have this blue spotlight on the driver's side, and it looks really nice.
And then looking on the driver's side of the vehicle, this thing looks awesome. If you're looking at the Ghostbusters logo actually on the driver door, you'll see that it's obviously pretty tattered and kind of looking cracked and torn up a little bit. Of course, it's been sitting in a barn for a long period of time. But what's cool about this side also is the driver's side door actually opens up, and then on the inside of the door, controls obviously for the window to roll up and down, but also maybe controls for the spotlights potentially, not really sure. But then looking at the dashboard, you got that awesome vintage Cadillac dash, which looks fantastic. You got the steering wheel, which actually doesn't turn, it's just stationary. And then looking down underneath there, you got a brake pedal. You also got the gas pedal. The seat looks pretty awesome. I mean, not a huge amount of detail in there, but enough, and it looks pretty fantastic. And of course, that box on the dash there. And then if you move back towards the driver's side rear door, that door actually doesn't open. It's actually the one door on this vehicle that does not open. But if you look inside there, looks like a box, looks like a remote trap vehicle. So the RC Ghost Trap most likely generally stored in that box, I would assume. And then next to that it says, I believe it's a Neutrona wand. It's kind of hard to see, and we can get an even better look once we open the back at some of this stuff in the back. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
So as we move to the back of the vehicle, you have those fins going along the side of the vehicle. Just has that great look of the Cadillac. Let's go ahead and open the back door, check out some more details on the inside, and checking out the panels. There are a couple different colors. Then there's also the little door handle in silver. So of course this is where that Ghost Trap RC vehicle sits. And then on both sides, there's just all these different electronics that they would use, most likely to give them an idea of where these ghosts are. And if you get a closer look, there's a decent amount of detail down to the buttons. Some of them actually are colored red, some of them are black. And then checking out the knobs as well, they just all look like they would really function. So that's just really cool. It adds to the overall detail of the vehicle, and it looks really nice. I also want to point out the floor, just these little grooves going on, so just another nice touch.
Now moving on to the passenger side of the vehicle, and of course it's just, looks basically the same as the driver's side. However, what's interesting about this side is both doors open, and it actually opens all the way up. It swings wide open because what's cool about that, and you may have seen from the Afterlife movie trailer, is that back seat right there actually slides out, and then it swivels out, and it's cool because that seat actually even has, like, you can see the harness style seat belts there. It's cool, the little mechanism that actually slides the seat out. You can see that there. It looks kind of like hydraulic. There's these different arms. I think that looks really cool. And there's actually even like a little arm thing that comes down on the side, because if you swivel the seat all the way around, you'll see there's a proton pack actually connected to the seat. And of course that arm that comes down, I'm sure, is how you will control that proton pack. And but then that seat just kind of slots back in, and it's really cool. And then of course you got the passenger side door that opens, and just a mirror image of the other side, at least the door components. And we've already basically seen inside, but taking a look on this side, you can see that cool Cadillac logo there, and as well as the radio and different knobs and things like that. So yeah, all in all, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the bottom of this vehicle.
As we get a closer look at the bottom, it's just pretty basic. It's all one color. Of course, it is molded nicely. There's all those details in there of how the bottom of a car would look. As you get a closer look at the back, you can see where the gas tank is, and you can see the exhaust system that runs throughout from the front to the back. But all in all, there's not a ton of detail going on here, but just enough that overall it looks really good.
And then finally, just taking a closer look at the stuff that's on top of the vehicle. Of course, you got the blue light bars on the front and the back of the vehicle. Looks like you also got some of those blue spotlights like you would see down by the driver's side. And of course, all those components on top. Don't really know what all of that is. It's interesting though, a lot of cool stuff going on there. Definitely some cool details. And I do also like how it's not just like a straight white on the white portions of the vehicle. It's actually kind of spotted with some gray and little black specks that kind of make it look dirty, which is a really nice touch there to, just give it that look of sitting in a barn for a long period of time. But again, all this stuff looks pretty awesome. So of course there are figures that are part of the Ghostbusters Plasma Series from Hasbro. Here are 6 of them. Obviously the Ecto 1 does go with the new movie, and these figures are from the original movie. And even if you wanted to pair them together, the scale is so far off. If you can see the Egon here, he's much larger than the vehicle, and if you tried to fit him in there, he doesn't really fit. So there's that. And there we have it. There's our Ecto 1 completely put together. This retails for $49.99 at Target. If you're a collector or even just a Ghostbusters fan, a movie fan, this is something you're probably going to want to add to your collection. So I would definitely get out to your local Target and try to seek this guy out. They're out there to find. So good luck to you, and I hope you can find one. To watch a video that YouTube suggests for you, click that video to the left. To watch our last video, it's going to be that one over there to the right. We'd also love it if you would subscribe, and to do that, click the link up above our heads. That'd be fantastic. We'll see you on the next video. Peace, everybody.
See ya.